Before I start, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians, the Ngunnawal people, the custodians of this land, and pay respect to their elders past and present. My name's Brendan Maher. I'm the General Manager of RUOK. It's great to be here at Marist. It's actually my old school. I finished here 20 years ago this year. It makes me feel very old. In 1994, and I was in Crispin House, which I believe was the best house at Marist, and I believe still is. I'd like to welcome our very special guest today. We have Senator Zed Seselja, the Senator for the Australian Capital Territory. We've got Mr Ed Husick MP, who's the Labor member for Chipley. We've got Dr Chris Bourke, MLA. Dr Chris is representing the Chief Minister today. We're going to have Patrick Cross say a few words, our Year 10 student. And Jonathan Nicholas as well from Reaching is going to say a few words. Before I start, this has been it's been an amazing journey for RUOK. We started in Darwin on the 7th of August and we visited 16 communities, 17 today, spreading the message about the importance of regular, meaningful conversations and asking, are you okay if you're worried about someone? Today's also World Suicide Prevention Day. And I was just reflecting last night, I'm sitting on a little committee organising our 20-year Marist reunion. And looking at the list of fellow students, there's a couple of notable absences. And there's two young guys that took their own lives that I went to school with. So it's important, I think, that I mention those guys today because they are notable absences, and I believe passionately that suicide is mostly preventable, and that's why the work of RUOK is so important. So thanks again for having us today. I'd like to introduce, first of all, Senator Zed Seselja to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Can I commend Brendan and RUOK for the wonderful work that they do. It's good to have my friend Ed Husick here with us. I'll be joining him in Sydney for the next leg of the tour. And can I thank Marist College Canberra, great local school, and Rick Sidorko, I think, is somewhere there. Thank you, Rick, and to all of the staff for being here today, and for all the students who have given us such a great welcome. I remember making my maiden speech in the ACT Assembly about 10 years ago, in 2004. Sorry, can I recognise Dr Chris Bourke as well? It's great to see you here, Chris. And I made my maiden speech and I raised the issue around youth suicide, particularly for young men, back in 2004, and just the scourge that it is, how young men are particularly overrepresented when it comes to suicide. And unfortunately, a decade later, while some progress has been made, nowhere near enough progress has been made. There's something like 2,500 Australians take their own lives every year. It's about 7 every day. And that is a very sobering statistic. And it is something that groups like RUOK are working hard to address, working hard to battle against those kind of numbers, because they are not good numbers. There's more people that die on our roads every year. So the concept behind RUOK, which I'm such a big fan of, is about reaching out to your mate, reaching out to people around you, reaching out to your workmate, your schoolmate, asking that basic question, are you okay, and having another conversation, finding out what's going on, because we know depression is rife. We know everyone here would know someone who is either suffering from depression or has suffered from depression. We know that mental illness, we know that isolation and loneliness are all factors in the high rate of suicide in this country. So the Conversation Bus Tour, which is such a fantastic thing, and the work that RUOK does, is about connection. It's about reaching out. It's about looking out for other people in our community. And that does make a difference. That makes a massive difference. I say, particularly to all the students here in Year 10, do look after your mates. It's not a bad thing to say you're struggling. It's not a bad thing to say you might be feeling a little bit down or a little bit depressed or a little bit worried about some of the things that are there. And particularly in those teenage years, we know sometimes those difficulties, it feels like you can't overcome them. But we know you can. You can with some help. You can with some friends, family, teachers, with other people. So really that's all from me, but can I just finish by thanking RUOK for the wonderful work you do. It's a great honour to be associated with it, and it's something that I want to continue to be a part of. So thank you very, very much. I'll hand back to either Brendan or perhaps straight to Ed.
Thank you very much, Zed. One thing I forgot to mention is that both Zed and Ed are parliamentary ambassadors for RUOK, and it's so important that we have friends up on the hill, and these guys are doing a great job in spreading the message up there amongst their parliamentary colleagues. I'd now like to introduce Mr. Ed Husick. Say a few words.
Thanks, Brendan. And it is good to be here with Zed. Zed and I actually, we're from different political parties. We find common ground, particularly on the Tarata basketball court up at Parliament House, where we play early on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. And so if you want to watch two grown men doing something that they shouldn't be doing and they're well beyond their prime, please feel free. It's a good laugh, and you might even give us some tips on how to play better basketball. To Chris, it's great to see you here today representing the Chief Minister and to show the commitment at both the federal and at the territory level for what is very important. And in particular, if I can also thank Rick for opening up Marist today to be the venue for this. I have to go to class. How long is this going to go for, Rick? Do I wait this out? Great. The bell will go on as long as it needs to.
No, it should be finished shortly.
Okay. I reckon it's something Zed did to stop me. I took the time to really well. I'm learning a lot about you, Senator. The thing these days, look, what people don't realise, particularly younger people don't realise, is that a lot of the paths have been travelled before you, insofar as when we were growing up, trying to find out who you are as a person, working out your own identity is hard. And especially for men as well, where, and speaking for young men, you want to be able to demonstrate that you can take life's knocks and that nothing gets you down, and that you never stop, you never take a backward step, and that any of the challenges in life, they're just going to pass through and it's not an issue. And the problem for that with blokes is we tend to store a lot of stuff inside and not talk. And we don't actually have the opportunity of our friends, especially growing up, the people that you grow up with, your friends, are the closest that you have, and we're not asking each other how we're going, and we're not prepared to offer it up, particularly as young men. And I feel even for yourselves these days, not only are you trying to show an image of who you are amongst your friends, but you've got the whole online world as well with social media. Your identity's on there too. So this whole issue of identity, who you are, how you're feeling, is very tough, and it's even tougher for younger people growing up these days compared to what Zed and I went through growing up. So taking the important step of, if you notice that someone might be doing it tough, and actually asking them if they're okay, makes a huge difference. More often than not, you'll hear, and Brendan will tell you this, and all the people that are associated with RUOK, it almost lifts a huge weight off people's shoulders that someone's actually recognised and opened up and given them the rare privilege of being able to talk about what they feel and knowing someone's going to listen. So RUOK and what it is trying to do to get those conversations happening is really, really important, and we cannot commend enough the work of RUOK, the sponsors that are involved, and the fact that along the way, and Rebecca was telling us about some of the places where they went to, where people were coming out in communities and talking about the type of things that were on their mind and the type of things that were weighing on their mind, is making a huge difference. So thank you for letting us, both for Zed and myself, and Zed actually offered me the opportunity to be the co-parliamentary supporter and ambassador of this. Thank you, Zed, for that, and to Brendan and RUOK, and importantly all the work that's being done by all the volunteers and the people that are helping out. It's tremendous what you're doing for our community, and if we can have that one conversation that can change someone's life and make it better, what a great thing that we've done. So thank you again, and I wish you all the best for the last 24 hours of this great adventure.
Thank you very much, Ed. That was fantastic. I'd now like to introduce Dr. Chris Bourke, MLA, who's representing the Chief Minister today, and we'll have a bit of a chat about why this message is so important for the Canberra community.
Thank you, Brendan. And I begin by, of course, acknowledging the RUOK custodians of the land on which we meet today, and the parliamentary ambassadors, Senator Seselja and Mr. Husick MP. Well done, and thank you for being here today, here in Canberra, to bring this message of Are You OK, which is so important to these young men and the rest of the Canberra community. And I'd also compliment Senator Seselja for his personal efforts over a number of years that I'm aware of in working in the area of young men and children. As a member of the ACT Legislative Assembly and here representing the Chief Minister, I'm delighted to see this Canberra stop-off of Are You OK for us, the conversation with us today. I'd like to, on behalf of the Chief Minister of the Assembly, welcome the Are You OK team and say you are very welcome here in Canberra. Very welcome indeed. I love your message. I love your message of staying connected and looking out for each other, because that is the essence of what builds a great community. Canberra is an incredibly beautiful town. We know that. We are all proud Canberrans. And we have one of the highest standards of living in the world by any measure. We know that too. But this gives us no immunity to the challenges and struggles of life. And it's sad to know that suicide affects too many of us here in Canberra, and the consequences of suicide upon friends and family. Each life lost is a profound moment of grief. So we can all ask, each and every one of us, you and me, we can ask, are you okay? And we can do it a lot more often. If we see a friend or someone we know who seems a bit down, who seems a bit different, we should ask them, are you okay? And then we need to listen for the answer, to encourage them to seek help. Because that little bit of encouragement, we're not experts in mental health, we're not psychologists or psychiatrists. That little bit of encouragement to send someone to get help could be the difference between a life hope or a tragedy. So this is the important message of Are You OK? That we can all, no matter how small our effort, make a difference by asking a simple question, listening to the answer, and then providing some support to get some expert help. And that way we can have a Canberra which is more connected, a Canberra which is more resilient. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Chris. I'd now like to invite a representative from the student body to say a few words about why Are You OK is important at school. Patrick Cross has bravely volunteered to speak to us today, and Patrick, come on up, mate.
Good morning, distinguished guests, Are You OK staff, members of the public, teachers and boys. The Are You OK campaign is an excellent program for young people everywhere. It helps to create an environment for people where they feel comfortable and secure talking to people around them about their feelings. This is particularly beneficial for young men who we all know at times can be more reluctant to open up about their feelings and talk about their mental well-being. In today's society, where young people are at high risk of succumbing to mental health issues, programs like this encourage togetherness have never been more important. This program aims to fix a problem at their grassroots. Opening up links with people around you will help fix a problem before it has even started. Having a safety net to fall back on in times of need is something that the program initiates and is something that is very important today. Here at Marist, mental health is a very important issue. Marist has been affiliated with programs such as Mind Matters, Youth Empowerment Process and Me ACT for some time. House group leaders constantly promote a healthy mental state, and mental health is studied in the health and PE curriculum, and students are encouraged to see the school counsellor in times of need. This program opens up a new mental health initiative for Marist Canberra, and I'm sure it will be extremely beneficial for students in the future. The Are You OK program has had much success on their bus tour around Australia, and we are very fortunate to have them here in Canberra and here at Marist today. We would like to wish them luck on their final leg of the tour in Sydney tomorrow and in the future. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Patrick. That was very well said. Our final speaker this morning is Jonathan Nicholas, who is the CEO of the ReachOut.com. Jonathan is going to have a chat about, you know, they run a service which is something that we can access when we have to find a pathway to help, and ReachOut.com is an amazing service that Jonathan's going to tell us a little bit more about. Jonathan.
Thanks, Brendan, and it's great to follow Ed and Zed and Chris. I'm not sure how you guys work it on the basketball court. Between Ed and Zed, it will be an interesting game to watch. And Patrick as well. As Brendan said, ReachOut.com is an online service there to help you through whatever you are going through. So for those of you who are asking the question, it's always good to know where you go with the answer. If someone's not doing so well, then ReachOut.com is a great first step. We're also part of a network of other great services, some who I think are here today, including Headspace. So what you can be assured of is there's actually lots and lots of people here who care deeply about you, who want to help, who want to get involved, and often it's that courage of having the first conversation and being able to answer that question that is incredibly important, knowing that there is a layer of services and support that sit behind it, including ReachOut.com, which is there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week online. If you access ReachOut, you would be one of, on average, 10,000 other people per day who access our service alone. So there's absolutely lots of people who need help out there, and there's lots of people who care very deeply about it. I think one of the things about World Suicide Prevention Day being around this time that's incredibly important for students is we know that during exam times, particularly Year 12 exams, this is probably it can be one of the most stressful times for you and your friends. And I'd just like really to finish on that message and say keep that in mind, that probably over the next few months there are going to be a whole bunch of people who are going to be doing it tough, they're going to be feeling really stressed, and who would just love to know that someone is there asking after them and knowing that they can do okay. So congratulations to Brendan and the team from Are You OK? We have been a very proud partner of Are You OK since the very beginning, and looking forward to spreading this message for many years to come. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. That's almost the end of the formalities, but before we finish, of course, I wanted to say a few thank yous. Firstly, I wanted to thank Marist College for hosting us here today. We'd originally planned to have this event up at Parliament House, but then realised that it wasn't a sitting week, so there wouldn't have been anyone up there. So I rang the college, rang Grant Barclay, who I went to school with. He put me in touch with Glenn Slater, who spoke to Chris Morrissey, who spoke to Rick, and it all happened, and they said yes, and here we are today. So the school couldn't have been more accommodating. It's great to be back here. I'm very proud to say that I went to Marist, and it's always good to come back here and see the school doing so well. I'd also like to thank our volunteers. We've got representatives from Headspace here today. We've got representatives from Lifeline. We've got volunteers from the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, and anyone else that I may have forgotten. I wanted to thank our representatives from the Department of Health. The Department of Health provide very important funding for Are You OK through the National Suicide Prevention Program. So welcome to Sally and to Karen today. And finally, I just wanted to acknowledge our sponsors, Hungry Jack's and Virgin Mobile, who provide fantastic corporate funding as well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the amazing crew that have been on this bus for 5 weeks. Rebecca Lewis, who's our campaign director, Erica Foley, who's our photographer and social media person, Billy Cheeseman down here, who looks after all the sound and the logistics on the bus, Stu McRae, not sure what Stu does, but he's always looking busy. No, Stu's our community engagement person, and of course Mick, our bus driver. These guys have worked tirelessly. They've kept the levels of passion up, and very proud of you guys for for the effort you've made on behalf of our organisation. And I know you're making a difference because we're getting many comments and feedback about the differences and the mark you're making on the towns and regions you're visiting. Before I go, we are going to have a session in the gym with Year 10 students. We're going to take you through some stimulating content, including how to have a tough conversation, what to say, what not to say. We'll show you some videos about how the bus tour has gone over the last 5 weeks. And thanks again for having us. Thank you again to our distinguished guests. And we might get everyone to hang around for a photo and possibly some media interviews straight after this. So thanks again, and Are You OK Day tomorrow. Remember, ask a question, listen, encourage action, and follow up. There's four simple steps. It's a simple question, but it can mean the difference between a hopeful path or a tragic one. Look after each other. Thank you.